All right, welcome back to the Hedge with Double D.
The Hedge with Double D.
All right, we're back. Thank you for joining me. We did the ACC earlier. We're focusing on the SEC with this, but honestly, we're just going to combine it into the SEC Big Ten because the rest of the big games is the SEC and the Big Ten. So welcome to the SEC/Big Ten Bowl special. Dylan, thank you for joining.
SEC. SEC.
Big Ten.
That's my favorite chant, bro. Have you ever did you hear them chanting that at the God, what game was it? I think it was the Texas game. They were the Texas fans were chanting SEC. They're trying to get it on the
Oh,
SEC.
that's funny.
Yeah, when I don't know what I think when Texas won the
The
they
Big
won the
12.
Big
Yeah,
12 championship, all their fans were chanting
that's
SEC,
funny. I
man.
didn't. That's
I
funny.
know. It's the best, man. I'm good, brother. How are you?
Well, good. I'm doing good. For those who watched the last episode, I'm still in Memphis, still at the grandparents' house, doing good, but we got bowls to pick, so let's get it.
Let's get it.
Um, there will be a tiny little bit of we'll go over two of the same bowls as we did with the ACC, but nothing wrong with that. A little bit of double dipping. So, and let's just jump into it. One thing we've talked about, we were kind of saying off air, these bowls are really hard to predict. It's just like it turns into like some of the times it's like a whole new team playing with all the transfers and people opting out. But we'll do our best. We'll give you what notes we got and we'll tell you what we're thinking. And literally, it is crazy how basically all the big games left is SEC and Big Ten. Obviously, there's a couple other games in there that we're skipping, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I
really
mean
just
it's
the
well,
big conference.
it's what do you expect? I mean,
Yeah,
we're at the end of the bowl season. I mean, it's like obviously the SEC and the Big Ten we talked about all year are the two best conferences. No wonder everybody's joining up and just
Mhm.
creating these two super conferences. So
What it's gonna be. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, eventually, I mean, it's going to be like the NFC and the AFC. Honestly, like
exactly. Yep.
we
I
talked
live.
about that.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, it is. I mean, look, if you're Florida State, you're like, why would I be in the ACC anymore after what just
That's just
happened? Yeah.
Dude, I mean, right, but they're I mean, it's like, but that's what it is. I mean, you really can't even I mean, I guess what, Florida State, did they go undefeated?
Yeah. And they didn't make it.
God,
It's crazy, man. Florida,
that is
they
so
beat,
disrespectful, dude.
beat
That's like
and
the
they beat, I
worst. I mean,
think,
Alabama's better though.
yeah.
Like,
Well, and but it's so I've talked about me and EJ talked about this a little bit. We're basically saying like everyone should be mad because it was like if you did the most deserving, Florida State should be in, but if you're doing the best, Georgia should be in. Honestly, they're one of the best four teams. Like, so it's just one of those like there's no way to do it perfectly, but it sucks that it's like it's weirdly not really merit based at that point. So I can see the argument of like, well, why are we playing the season if I went undefeated and blah. But
yeah, I mean, it's money, maybe big money
exactly,
talks. Like,
it's
it
money.
really is.
It is.
Like,
It's like we can't not have an SEC team in. We need the
no.
ratings. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, if there wasn't an SEC team in, like, I mean, that just wouldn't, yeah, it just wouldn't resonate like with college football,
Yeah.
which and it sucks that it has to be that way, but it's like, well, join the SEC, I guess, right? I mean,
And it was just like it was
what's
made.
happening?
It
Is
doesn't make.
Florida State making moves, by the way? Or are they still stuck in the ACC?
They've been. I don't know what the latest was. They're trying to get out. It's going to be some massive $100 million buyout. Something crazy. So who knows? I'm kind of like we'll see what happens when it happens. But I feel like at this point, once they have 12 teams, it's not as big a deal. When you only have four teams, that's just made for like
Is it
five.
12?
Next year, it's going to be 12.
Oh, I thought it was 8 for some reason.
That would make more sense. But yeah, it's 12. It's crazy. Honestly, six would make more sense. But I feel like they were just like, wow, let's get everybody in next year so we don't have this happening
So well,
again.
you get every Power Five winner. You
Yep. And
get
then that's the cool thing. You'll get all the conference champions. You probably get like whoever the best outside Power Five team is gets a chance. And then, you
what's
know,
the next five? Are they gonna give all the next five conferences their conference winners in
I
there?
don't think so. I think
Get some,
I honestly, it's going to be the
get some
team.
Memphis in there or something.
Now, it'll be like the Ole Misses, the Penn States, the teams that are always
Yeah.
on the outside that, yeah.
It's gonna be like 3 or 4 SEC
Yeah.
teams and like 2 or 3 Big Ten
Gotta
teams.
be, yeah. That's
One ACC team, two. Yeah.
Mhm.
We should look. I mean, I wonder what it would have, and I know this is kind of off topic, but I wonder what the playoffs like this year, what it would have looked like. just kind of hypothetically, like how many, if you're looking at it, how many teams ended up in the top 12 that were from each conference,
Yeah.
just to see that breakdown. Because I think that, that's just indicative of what it's going to look like. But anyway, I digress.
No, I mean, that's fair because
I mean, you'd
they,
have Missouri, you'd have Ole Miss, you'd
they
have
put out all those,
Georgia.
what's the word I'm thinking of? They put out all the pictures of the infographics, whatever, what it would be if it was 12 teams this year. And who knows if that would change if there were actually 12. But yeah, let's see, let's count them here. It'd be Bama, Georgia, Missouri, Ole Miss. So it'd actually only be 4 SEC and then
Only a
Michigan.
third of them.
Yeah.
And
Michigan.
then you got Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan.
Penn State, yeah.
So 3 for the big.
And then you got a couple Big 12 teams.
I guess you got what, Oklahoma, Texas, Big 12, and then
And Oregon,
Arizona,
Washington.
maybe. No, Arizona, Washington,
Yeah, Oregon, Washington, yeah. So
maybe.
then
Yeah.
it'd be like LSU, Arizona on the outskirts, and they'd be the teams mad. So yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd be the same, I guess. But no, it would be, I don't know. You wouldn't have, no one's gonna care if the 13 teams didn't make it. It's like they don't have a chance anyways. But
Do they give a team like Liberty a seed? Like, is there like
I think that will
out
be what happens. I think it'll be Tulane or Liberty or whoever, SMU, whoever
the
the
best outside the Power Five, like
yeah,
like they would have to, right?
it
Like
would be Liberty this year. Yeah. They have I
Liberty
think
this year.
who's gonna get trounced by Oregon, but still, whatever. It's
Yeah.
fun to throw someone in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Just for the sake of the storyline, you never
Exactly. Exactly. You got 12 teams, might as well have fun.
kind of like March Madness, right? It's like, all right, we gotta have the
Exactly.
Cinderella.
That's what everyone, I feel like they're realizing. They're like, the playoffs is the most, everyone likes the playoffs more. Why do we only have 2 games? Like, or, 4 teams? Let's make it bigger. Playoffs are better. 64 is, as good as it gets, but we can't do that. So,
Yeah, we should just like have a whole season as playoffs, right? Like
exactly. That's
you play one game, you lose your first game,
oh, yeah. It's all
season's
king of the
over.
hill. Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, that was
It's like Royal Rumble style. Yeah.
college football still has the best regular season. I think of all pro sports by far, or all, not pro, all major sports. That's
Yeah.
not pro. That's
Yeah.
pretty much pro these days.
Yeah, it
But
is. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean they're getting paid like pros, but it's definitely the best regular season, I would say. I mean,
Yeah, it seems like every game has the most stakes. For me, NFL is still the best regular season just because there's so many weeks in college where teams play cupcakes where literally there's no chance they lose. But
right.
it should change, honestly. But also,
Well, think about it, but let me argue that for a second. The one thing that's different about the NFL versus the college game is that every week there's a make or break game usually on the slate.
yeah,
That in the NFL they don't have that as much. Like the NFL, like you can lose games,
Mhm.
and like I mean, a 10-6 team can win the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
but college team cannot lose. Now maybe
Yeah,
3 teams,
maybe.
maybe
But
3.
yeah, but you'd also argue like, but also a college team went undefeated and didn't get a chance, and maybe a team like Alabama shouldn't have a chance because they did lose the game. It's not merit based, basically. That's really the only difference. It's
Right.
yeah.
That's
So,
a good argument. We should have a breakdown next year.
yeah, yeah.
One of the best regular seasons
Who's the best? Yeah, yeah. My
we
opinion
haven't
is
hedged in a
better.
while, bro.
Yeah, I
We got
know.
so much to talk about.
We have a lot of opinions. I know, dude. We're gonna get like, all right, 12 minutes in. Let's get our first game. Yeah. That's okay.
Let's do that.
Because I've got timestamps on everything. So if you don't want to listen to this, you jump ahead to the timestamps and just get the games.
And at the end of the day, we don't care if they want to listen because we're
Exactly.
having a good time.
This isn't for you. This is for me.
This
Yeah.
is for me. We're doing this. We'll do the picks for you next, but
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
for us. This is for the boys.
Exactly.
Oh man.
If you just want 30 seconds, follow me on TikTok, and that's where the picks.
Yeah. Go follow TikTok.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead, follow.
The Hedge.
Follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hedge. Ball talk. Go ahead, follow the mayor.
All right. So let's just jump right into it. Clemson, Kentucky, first game. This will be today since the podcast will be coming out tomorrow. So this will be Clemson, Kentucky today. Clemson's favored 4.5 or 5, depending on where you're looking. But if we remember last year, I don't know who is favored, but Clemson played Tennessee. Clemson was missing a lot of defensive players. Tennessee just took it to them, tore them apart. That's kind of seems like a similar situation here. Clemson has 6 6 players, 6 starters out on defense, and not just starters. Like most of them are like all SEC ACC players. So like some legit players. They're missing a bunch of their defense. They're basically gonna have like a whole new team on defense. My thought process was basically like, Clemson was bad at the beginning of the year. They kind of put it together toward the end here. They've won some games and kind of had a respectable season. But if they're gonna lose a bunch of players and kind of start over, then I see them, going back to where they're maybe not as good like the beginning of the season. I like Kentucky with the 5 points here. Probably gonna take them on the money line. Honestly, you're gonna get really good odds there. Their running back is going to play. I don't know if he's gonna play the whole game, but you gotta assume he's gonna play at least enough. Then they're not having the transfers, the opt-outs. So I like Kentucky here, man. This would be a good little underdog to jump on here, but an SEC underdog's always a good underdog.
Oh yeah. No, I agree, man. Where's the game being played, by the way?
Ooh, okay, I gotta look that one up.
Yeah, I don't know, because I mean, it's not like Kentucky is known
The,
for travel.
the
Where?
Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. So I'm guessing that's gonna be in.
Down in Florida.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think I would say that I think both teams will travel. Kentucky probably not as well as Clemson.
Yeah.
So I like the points. I would say that I do think, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say. I definitely like Kentucky in the points. I would not. I don't lean towards Clemson at all in this situation. Kentucky's played some good teams or good games this year, and Clemson's definitely having a down year.
Mhm.
Especially with their, what you mentioned on their defense. Yeah, I think the money line's fun. But
Mhm.
my most confident pick would be to take the points,
Yeah.
just ride with it. I could easily see Clemson, squeaking out a 3-point victory, or
Yeah.
this being down to the wire, back and forth kind of game. But yeah, what was the under over on that?
That is 44 and a half. You can get 45 on DraftKings, but mainly 44 and a half.
See, that's what okay. So yeah, I mean, low scoring. I mean, so with those low scoring games, I always like to take the dog if it's more than 3 or 4 points. Just because I mean, you could see 2017 or something like that. I mean, so yeah, give me Kentucky in the points.
Yep. Yep. I like that too. And like we were saying, if Clemson losing defense, Kentucky's going to have their run game going. If they're up at all late, they should be able to kind of salt it away. Give Ray Davis a nice little. Oh, sorry, I thought I had to sneeze there. Maybe not. But give Ray Davis a nice little going away party there, beating Clemson. So
There you go.
interesting. And I know apparently, so Devin Leary, their quarterback, has faced Clemson a lot when he was in the ACC. So maybe a little bit of experience there. I don't know, but
Yeah, that's a good point too. I mean, if he's definitely got the inside kind of scoop on maybe how they played him before. I mean,
yeah,
how much of an impact does that have?
yeah, that could go the other way too. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, but
So yeah, but either way, we both like Kentucky on plus 4 or 5, depending on where you can find it. But yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well then, all right, good. All right, so that's good. We got Kentucky. EJ was on Kentucky with us too, so we got a lot of agreements there. We'll move on to Missouri, Ohio State. That is also going to be today. Ohio State, their quarterback has already entered the transfer portal. I think he's going to Syracuse. Kind of a strange step down there, but going to Syracuse. And then this game is going to be tough to call. You almost are going to want to wait until like right before game time to see if Marvin Jones Jr., one of the running backs, and some guys on defense, if they're going to actually play or not, and if they're going to announce like if they'll play the whole game or whatever. It says that they're unsure if they're going to play, but they're traveling with the team. It's just one of those like that's impossible to say. But all that to say, basically, it makes it seem like
They're probably gonna play.
I think they're going to play. But it wouldn't surprise me if like at halftime, the coach pulls them at halftime because it's like this game doesn't matter. I don't want to get y'all to get hurt type of thing, or at least Marvin Jones Jr. It's like you're going to be a top 3 pick. No need to risk you.
Marvin Jones shouldn't play. I mean, he's clearly
He shouldn't.
locked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so either way, so I don't know. But with that said, I'm kind of leaning towards I don't trust that. Missouri's already said like we're all playing. This just seems more important to Missouri type of thing.
God.
Missouri's +3. So Ohio
I got
State.
plus 4.5 over here.
Oh, maybe
So
it's jumped up. Okay, I put these down like a day and a half ago. So plus 4.5, depending. So definitely look around. Let's see here. Because yeah, take as many points as you can, and I'm taking Missouri with as many points as I can. Just because I mean, I feel like it's more important for them. Ohio State's going to be down a quarterback, and I don't know how many other players. So it just seems, like we said in college, that totally matters. It just seems more important for the Missouri players. So I'm going with Missouri.
yeah, man. I mean, I like where your head's
Mhm.
at. I don't think Marvin Jones Jr. should play. If he does play, I mean, with their quarterback in the transfer portal, I know they got a guy.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
know that
Yeah.
whoever's playing this game is going to be a stud.
Mhm.
Um, this is the Big Ten. I mean, this is the Big Ten royalty, man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Ohio State. Like, I mean, it's not like and even though, they had one loss this year to Michigan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I'm assuming that the guy they got behind their quarterback, I don't know even I can't even put a name on him, but what's their quarterback's name?
I want to say McCord. He wasn't
Okay.
that good. Yeah.
He was okay. So exactly. He was not like a we're not talking about a Heisman candidate, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, the guy that they got behind McCord is probably going to be a
Bro.
4-star, talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and the future. So a lot to play for.
Mhm.
Missouri going to bring it. Yeah, I agree. I honestly would stay away from this one.
Yeah.
I would lean towards Ohio State money line,
Yeah.
just to not pick against the roll team. Missouri has, they've had a good season. Really ended at strong, and they beat Tennessee, but they played a weak schedule. In the SEC, all things considered, I don't. I'm trying to remember who their big games were. I know Georgia took care of them. Trying to think of who else. They didn't play Bama, I don't think.
No.
Uh, so because they're one loss, right, to Georgia,
Let's see here. Missouri, 2 losses.
LSU and Bama, or LSU and Georgia.
Let me pull up their schedule. So yeah, Missouri. I think you're right. They didn't have a lot of important wins. They lost to LSU. That's right. They had that shootout with LSU, 49 to
Ish.
39.
39-49. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, and then they
That's
lost to Georgia, 30 to 21. It wasn't that close, but
so here. Anyway, so
Tennessee,
yes,
they blew the doors off Tennessee. I forgot about that.
blew off the well.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was kind of a hiccup. And Tennessee was not. Well, we'll talk about them in a little bit, but Tennessee was not nearly as good. They're not. They're not Ohio State. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Mhm.
There's a reason they're playing Iowa and they're ranked number 20. I mean, Ohio State is the elite. I mean, I'm not like trying to beat the Big Ten drum, but my gut tells me take Ohio State money line. I like the points on Missouri, but I do like the over here. I think this game is going to be super exciting.
Yeah.
A new guy for Ohio State coming in, Missouri coming in fired up. They had a shootout with LSU. That was another really big matchup. Like I could see this running up the
Mhm.
score. Even though Big Ten, normally I think Ohio State's been a little lower scoring this year, but 49.5
Mhm.
bowl game just seems like a lower total. So my pick will be give me the over 49.5. I like that. And I would lean towards Ohio State money line if I
Yeah.
was going to pick.
Okay. I like the over too. I was thinking that too. I think points will be scored. Whoever Ohio State's playing, they're gonna have skill. They're gonna score points. Or whoever's playing for Ohio State.
Primetime game too, man. This is huge. I
Yeah.
mean, 7-9. I mean, what's the bowl? This is New Year's Six. No,
Yeah, well, it's on the 29th technically, so I guess it's not, but this is the Cotton Bowl. I don't know if
Cotton
that's
Bowl. Okay, so this is huge. Yeah, huge.
so big, but yeah.
It's traditionally, large. One of those games. So anyway, yeah, I give me Ohio State money line. Give me the points. Give me the over.
Mhm.
Um, but I still think it'd be a close game. I mean, I could even see Missouri covering 4.5
Mhm.
and Ohio State winning. Get up. You want to be real risky,
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
try to middle.
Yeah.
But I don't recommend that. I just think Ohio State. I think Ohio State will handle Missouri. I think they beat them by, you know, at least a field goal, maybe
Mhm.
more. So, anyway, yeah, give me that
I mean, yeah,
shootout.
I can see Ohio State handling them. They just want to see. Sometimes they just like all of a sudden they've got 12 running backs that can,
Yeah,
yeah, and they can score 20 points in a quarter. So, but I still think it scares me that it went from 3 to 4.5 that quickly. But
Money's coming in Ohio State, man.
maybe that's just because a lot of people are saying exactly money's coming in. Maybe just people thinking, oh, Ohio State, of course they're better. But because Ohio State is a better team by far.
100%.
The point exactly. The only thing is like, is it gonna not matter for them and matter more for Missouri, which is what I'm looking at. So I'm still gonna
Yeah.
take the 4.5. But yeah, like you said, I get both ways. I'm not confident. I'm more confident in the over 49.
I would like to look, you know what, a good thing to look at in this kind of game would be what has been the trend between the Michigan, Ohio State, and their bowl games, the one that doesn't make the playoff over the
Yeah,
past couple of years.
yeah.
Because I feel like with these big time programs, I mean, like I compare Ohio State to like Georgia, for example, and we know Georgia's going to come out and probably beat the brakes off of
Yeah.
Florida State.
Yeah.
And I think Georgia's better than Ohio State.
Mhm.
And I think that, but I don't think Florida State, I think that Florida State is better than Missouri, but the spread is indicating that Georgia is like way better than, you know what I mean?
Yeah, look, and this
It's
is
so
another thing.
weird.
Florida State's like all their whole team's like sitting out, so it's or transferring or it's
Florida
crazy.
State's whole team is?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, yeah.
You should
Okay.
see EJ went through it all. There's like it's a crazy amount of starters that are gone. It's ridiculous. So it's like, yeah, it's not even at a certain point they
Not
should
a similar. Okay, it's not a good comparison then, but
yeah.
okay.
But
But
just the spread's not, but the idea is where it's like Ohio State, Georgia are elite, but yeah, it's just that's hard to compare.
yeah, it is. But I just say, like, I mean, like if we look at, okay, like what would the spread be against Georgia and Ohio State? Like
Yeah.
it would probably be around like a point and a half,
Yeah,
maybe.
if this was like regular season, like or just neutral site and everyone's playing, yeah, it'd probably be Georgia
Georgia's way better than Missouri.
2 to 3.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say, man, but I just feel like Ohio State money line here. But I do like the points. I mean, I just think I don't know. But the over, I think it's a
Yeah,
shootout.
I like
So
the over too. Yeah. All right, well, we'll stick there. So over, we're kind of back and forth elsewise. So make your own call, but definitely the over. All right. Next, we got moving on now to the 30th. So Saturday, I believe. Yeah, Saturday. Ole Miss, Penn State. I was telling you earlier, this is one of the games I don't have a whole lot of notes on. Penn State's favored. Last I looked, it was 4.5. Let's see what it is now. Still 4.5. Yeah. Still 48.5 total. So the big thing, it looks like Penn State, they're like really good defensive lineman, Chop Robinson. Yeah, he's going to the draft, so he's not going to play.
Okay.
So that'll be missing something up front. Man, and before I saw that, I wanted to just like hammer the under on this because I was like, oh man, Penn State's got a great defense. Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin's like known for offense, but I feel like they've had a couple games this year where they just didn't score as much as I expected. But now if Penn State's losing that big lineman, that could, I don't know how much of a difference he'll make. I'm not that big on Penn State.
State's got I think Penn State's another one of those teams that's got guys on guys,
Yep. So that's what I wrote down that I'm taking the under before I saw the total anyway. So 48.5. I'll still probably take the under. That's what I'm leaning towards. In terms of the winner, I definitely don't like the points for Penn State. James Franklin in general is known to not win the big game. This isn't like the big game, obviously, but
it's a pretty big game, yeah.
it could be, yeah. And I definitely don't like the points with Penn State. I don't think I'm going to take Ole Miss money line, but I think I'll take Ole Miss with the plus 4.5. Just like I said, I just don't trust Penn State. And I don't. Let me get the plus there. So I'll take the points instead of trusting James Franklin. Basically, that's really what it comes down to for me here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the one thing that I look at right here in these type of games, and especially in the postseason, for college, like the timing is crucial for the under over, in my opinion. With this game being played at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's a big game. Like, no, I think Lane, Lane is, I mean, both guys. I mean, Franklin and Lane are both really trying to recruit. Lane has come and take some big players from Tennessee in the transfer portal. RIP Tyler Barron, dude. Come on, man. Local Knoxville guy. But anyway, we won't get into that. But I think that Lane wants to put on a show, and he Ole Miss, not as recognized as Penn State. I like your under pick. I do. I think I would roll with that. Um, just and honestly, like if it goes under, I could see even like Ole Miss like beating them kind of bad.
Mhm.
So, and just Penn State not being able to score, their defense playing well, but like
Yeah.
they maybe Ole Miss has a couple of plays up their sleeve, they get up a couple touchdowns. I don't know. I mean, um, it's hard. That's another hard one, man. But it's hard to pick against. Um, take the. I mean, well, I'm just trying to think of like who Penn State has really. I mean, Penn State's what? They're 10-2.
Yeah, their only losses again were the Ohio State, Michigan.
Of
Um,
course. Okay. How bad did they lose to those teams? Was it? Do you remember?
yeah, I remember one of those was bad. Let me pull up their schedule. One of those was definitely bad, and there was one. I want to say it was the Ohio or Michigan game where they were never really in it. All right, let me pull up Penn State schedule here. But it was just one of those. I feel like it was always like talking where it was like jokingly. What's his name? James Franklin can't win the big one. Yeah. So Ohio State 20-12, that was closer. And then Michigan 24-15, but that one was not still.
24-15.
Yeah, but I feel like it was still never like if I remember correctly, I feel like Penn State even scored kind of a garbage touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Penn State, like I mean, like they can't score in those big games, so like I like the under there. It looks like Ole Miss can score. I'm trying to see they're 10-2 this year. I'm just looking at their schedule again. If there's any, I mean that they only scored 10 on Alabama, which good defense.
Hmm.
Let's see. Did they play? They didn't play Georgia. I don't know. They played Georgia. They did not play Georgia.
They had a
Um,
shootout with LSU also where they
got,
scored like 50 points.
yeah, they got beat by Arkansas late in the
Yeah,
year.
that's right. Yeah.
Wait, no, that's not. No, that's 22. I'm sorry, brother. That's wrong. They beat Arkansas by 7. That was October 7th. They got slaughtered by Georgia this year. Okay. November 11th, they only scored 17 points against Georgia. So I like the under here. Early game, give me the under. Um, like the points if I was going to pick, but I definitely think the under is the play.
Mhm.
I could just see it being, low scoring and close game, and I would lean towards the points if I'm taking the under. Take
Yeah,
the points on Ole
exactly.
Miss.
Yep. Yeah. If you're gonna take the under, yeah, leave points too. All right,
So
man. Damn. All right. So that's three straight underdogs that I'm taking at least, and all SEC. So interesting. All right. Auburn, Maryland, also on Saturday. This is the what's our national the Music City Bowl.
hey, local bowl. Wait,
Exactly.
that's Saturday?
That is
I have to
Saturday.
pull up.
Mhm. And then yeah, Saturday. Yep. And then so okay, so I think Auburn part of this so I think Auburn will have a little bit better crowd than Maryland. I don't know. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
yeah, you got some Auburn fans in Nashville and then it's not that far away. Maryland, their quarterback, I want to say Talia is how you say it, but Tagovailoa to his brother.
To his brother.
Yeah, the other
It's to his
Tag,
brother.
um,
Until he gets the NFL and does better than Tua.
exactly, yeah. But he's not. He's already. I think he's declared for the draft, but he's not playing.
He's
Um,
not playing. Oh,
he's not.
yeah,
So that's why this Auburn I thought was 6.5. Let's see if it's still 6.5.
it
Um,
is.
okay, still 6.5, and I saw 47 as the total. So that 6.5 is a lot of points for Auburn because Auburn's not been good this year. They've struggled to score. But with Maryland without Tagovailoa, I don't see them doing anything either. So this one's tough. I kind of like the under, but I just don't know that much about Maryland's defense. Um, but I lean toward the under, and I lean toward Auburn on the money line. The 6.5 kind of scares me just because I don't know if Auburn's going to score much points at all. So I
Yeah.
lean toward like an Auburn money line under 47. Maybe if anything, buy Auburn down to like 2.5, 3.5. Um, but I'm just gonna straight up say that money line, I think. Just not
Yeah.
yeah, not that
Not a lot of
confident.
money. Not a Wait, did they lose to New Mexico State?
Yes, Auburn did. Yeah,
Jesus.
I know, and they should have beat Alabama, which would have really made shit crazy.
That was a look ahead. They just crushed Arkansas, lost to New Mexico State, and then almost beat Bama.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, Auburn's going to travel way better than Maryland.
yeah,
They're going to, I would say you're looking at 80% Auburn fans. They're going to come out and show out for the home team. Two is out. Give me the points. I mean, Auburn minus 6.5. I mean, the money line is I think that's a fun one to throw in a parlay. Maybe we throw together a little parlay of some of these kind of more favored in money lines or something. But I think our Auburn money line's almost a sure thing. Minus 240. I mean, you're spending a lot to get some.
yeah.
So, um, under over. Oh yeah, it's a low total for sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, I could see this being Auburn 31, Maryland 10. Uh, I don't know. Like I think Auburn travels better, and I think Auburn's going to win the game. I'll take Auburn minus 6.5.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Auburn wins. I don't think they're really much of a good team this year, but yeah.
Almost
Close.
beat Bama.
I know. I
I
know.
mean, almost beat Bama,
Must be
and
Bama.
now and they're going against Maryland, who doesn't have their quarterback. It's
Yeah,
like,
I know. Not even like should yeah, and almost like as close as almost can be, honestly. Like shoulda, which would have been crazy to see because then I guess
I
I don't
mean, who
know.
does Maryland have besides their quarterback? Like, what do they have a good?
No idea.
Yeah, no idea. And that tells
I
me
haven't
everything
watched
I
much
know.
Maryland this year. Yeah, that's why.
Not a big Maryland, not a big
Yeah,
Terps
not a
fan.
big Terp. Yeah,
Not a big fan of the Turtles.
yeah. Maybe next year, but we'll see. Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, so yeah, like under, like we said, under. I think Auburn's not going to score much. Maryland, maybe their backup quarterback's crazy good, but not that I know of. So under Auburn. Oh yeah, 6.5. I would still buy. I don't know. 6.5 is better than 7 at least. So it's a good line to get 6.5, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, I definitely wouldn't take it at 7. I would just take the money line in a parlay. But 6.5, a touchdown win. I mean,
mhm.
but you're right, dude. It could be dirt. I mean, I don't know. It's a bowl
Could be
game.
like
You want
17,
to,
13. Yeah,
yeah, you want to think that like
it could be.
I just don't think. I mean, it's SEC defense. I mean, Auburn's so much more tested,
Mm-hmm.
and they played Bama, who's a great defense, and
Yep.
they put up. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
Auburn's gonna win the game.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my most confident just
Well,
pick.
we'll get a good transition here. Speaking of very obvious money line winners, our next game on here is Georgia. So
Ooh, Georgia
now they're a little bit.
minus 1,700.
Yeah.
Give me some playing the fourth ranked Florida State.
That's the spread is 1,700. Yeah.
Minus 1,700. You got to bet 1,700 to make $100, dude, on Georgia.
All right, so the spread is still 19.5 to 20, kind of depending on where you look.
Ooh.
So obviously we
Right.
think Georgia's gonna win. I think Georgia's gonna cover. I think they'll win by easily win by 20. From what so if y'all listened to the ACC show yesterday, EJ came on, he's an FSU fan. He basically talked about how like all the skilled players are gone for FSU. There's one receiver that's still there. Some of the defense is gone. Obviously, quarterback's injured. The this backup quarterback who was supposed to play just left because they got another quarterback in the transfer portal who isn't going to play yet. But so they're just completely decimated. There's no one left on FSU teams. It's all going to be like rookie. It'll be like 4-star recruits or whatever, but it's their first time playing. It's like doing a scrimmage against the best team in the league for your scrimmage. It's not a great way to start.
That's gonna be bad.
Like everyone's playing for Georgia, so
Oh yeah, Georgia's pissed.
yeah, Georgia's gonna destroy them. It's gonna be a blowout. I don't even like want to watch most of this game. I feel like, but it's gonna be a blowout. You have anything else to add to that? Grab my charger. I'll let you.
No, I'm with you. I mean, tough to really tough to really add anything there. I mean, we're just pissed.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a blowout, and it's not gonna be fun to watch. I don't even imagine. Ew.
Yeah.
Losing
This
light
might
here.
be a first. I'm trying to see maybe first half You might just ride this one all the way.
Yeah,
Just
I think I like 15. I mean,
first quarter spread -4.5. That might be a fun one. Just Georgia to come out quick, get
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, that's all they gotta do is score a touchdown, not let FSU. I mean, I don't know. Maybe FSU does some crazy trick play and scores, but I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
nothing to say. It's just like one of those. Too bad. Could have been a good
Too
game.
bad.
Bad. Yeah.
God, dude, that's crazy. Does Florida State even, I mean, do they have a defense?
I think, I mean, they do. They have a good defense because like they held Louisville to nothing and Florida to nothing. But I mean, not that those are elite offenses, but I think they've even lost a couple of guys on defense on their front seven. So they don't have anything unless they're back.
Man, that's a lot of points, though. It's
I
just
know it
like,
is. It's crazy.
sick. It makes me sick to my stomach to like,
Yeah,
I mean, I like to pick either side.
yeah.
Like,
Doesn't feel
I would
good.
lean Georgia, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and it's like, God, they're giving 19.5 points in a major bowl game to one of the best teams in the country, technically, that almost made the playoff. It's like
It's crazy.
suspicious.
I'd I'd feel better taking Georgia and then like being pleasantly surprised if FSU plays well. Like, oh, look at that.
I think God, man. I don't know. Yeah, I would lean towards the Georgia on the points. I like what you're saying. I think you just plug Georgia -1,700 into any parlay, no brainer
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Just like you
yeah.
just like juice it a little bit. Like
Seriously,
that's just like like if Florida State wins this game, like with the team they have, oh my God.
it'd almost
But
be worth losing just it'd be such a fun thing to watch. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that'd be a fun. I mean, that'd be a fun flyer too to throw a little like $5 on +890 on a
There.
freaking
Yeah.
major bowl game. I mean, it's gonna be middle of the afternoon and it's the only game on. Like, I don't
Mhm.
know. Anyway,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, but I think that when you mentioned that the defense, that Florida State had a defense. The reason I asked is, the total is super low too. Like, I don't think Florida State scores, but does Florida State slow Georgia down at all? Like, are we looking at like, you know, 28-7 or like 30-10 or like, because I just
Uh,
don't see like Florida State scoring much at all. Like they're bringing it.
yeah.
So I kind of like the under in that game as well.
Dude, the total is only 44.5, so it's a pretty low. They think
God,
it's gonna
it's
be,
so
yeah.
low.
They don't think Florida State's gonna score much at all.
No.
Oh man. But
They're
yeah,
projecting it at what? I mean, with the total and the total, I mean, they're projecting what, Georgia 31-14
yeah, something like
ish.
31 to 10-ish, 31, 32 to 12-ish, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's not gonna be. Yeah, Georgia should win the game.
yeah,
That's a no brainer. I would lean towards the points as well. Kind of, I like your points.
yeah. All right, well, that's enough on that. Um,
Yeah, we spent way too much time on a game that.
I know it doesn't matter. All right. Well, on to the New Year's Day, the New Year's Six. Let's go. We got Wisconsin, LSU first. Let's go, Badgers. I've been picking against them a lot, but they turned it on a little bit at the end of the year. And I kind of like the 10 points. I don't like them on the money line, but I like the 10 points. For anyone wondering, I am skipping. Oh, that's on Saturday anyways. But yeah, okay. So, but yes. Oh, 9.5. Oh, 9.5, 10. I see more tens than 9.5s. But and then the total is 55.5. You get 56 on DraftKings. So I'm gonna write that because I'm gonna go under. So I'm gonna take the 50. If I'm gonna go under, I'm gonna get that high as I can get on the 56. So Big Ten under. I'm gonna go under 56 because LSU quarterback not playing. Um, Jaden Daniels is not gonna play, which is obviously massive. So I think Wisconsin can keep it within 10. I think this will. Excuse me. I think they'll be able to put together enough offense to keep it within 10, and I think it's going to go under 56. That seems like crazy high for me. Um, they must think I don't know. I guess LSU doesn't have a good defense though, so Wisconsin maybe can score, but again, it's not going to be fast paced if they when they do score. So it's going to be, you know. So I
We're gonna
feel
see
like
a lot of running, a
yeah,
lot of running. Early game too,
I
11
know.
a.m. man.
Even
So
even with Fickle, we're still going to run the ball until we get different players in the next couple of years. So
yeah.
I like Wisconsin. I mean, maybe it's because normally I've been betting against them, but I just feel like without their quarterback and a bad defense, I like Wisconsin +10, and I like the under for LSU because Wisconsin not as good as we have been, but we still have a good defense. So 56 points is a lot of points. What
I'm
do you
with
think?
you, bro. I'm gonna ride with you, bro.
Yeah.
You're the expert with Wisconsin. If you're feeling it, I'm gonna let you ride. I'm gonna roll with you because I like what you're saying.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. I like it.
Yeah, under plus 9.5 Wisconsin. Give it to me.
So, all right. I like that too, man. All
That might
right.
be a fun one to even pick money line. I don't know, man. Wisconsin plus 270 might be fun. I don't know.
I'd be surprised if we won, but maybe not. You know, I have no idea what to expect from LSU without Daniels, really. So it's kind of gonna be interesting. And I do like the Wisconsin coach, Brian Kelly at LSU. He gets a lot of, I don't know if he gets made fun of a lot too, but he's a really good recruiter. I don't know. I feel like Fickle might be a better coach. So when you have these like 3 weeks to prepare, I like that. So
No.
all right, next on we go to the UT game. So Iowa
All right.
UT. Oh man, these are two teams that we have followed closely all year with the Iowa under.
Oh my gosh.
So Iowa UT. The big
Yeah,
news.
this is some trends.
No, this is great. So
Is it one more week? Are we going one more week of unders?
I mean, yeah, probably.
I mean,
So it's higher than normal. It's 35, which is pretty high for Iowa. So
oh man, we're getting out of the 20s.
I know I mean I'm gonna lean the under because UT's had a little bit better defense than I expected this year too. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely leaning under on 35. It seems like it's gonna be, Iowa scores 6 points only and UT will score like, I don't know, 17, something like that. um and then which I think well again 6.5 is a lot for UT, but I think I think they'll cover. I think Iowa is not used to this offense at all. It's the opposite of what they see all year long. So it's going to be a little different. I think UT is going to have plenty of time to prepare. I like Heupel with time to prepare with Nico. Think they'll be able to put together some plays where they get some receivers kind of running, open downfield, and they get a couple big shots, and that's going to be enough to get a couple touchdowns, and that's all you need to beat Iowa. So,
Yeah.
but I'll let you. You're more the UT guy, so what are you thinking?
Um, yeah, dude. I would like the under here too, man. James Pierce. I mean, he's been a monster for UT this year. Defensive player. Leading the league in sack. I mean, I think we had the highest sack rate in the nation, or one of them, top three for sure. So we're gonna get the quarterback. They're gonna
Mhm.
eat up the quarterback. I was gonna, and then we got Nico coming in, which is gonna be super exciting to see. I mean, obviously the future. This is the number one player in the country. For those who don't follow, Nico is you coming in. He was the number one player in the country, 5-star, um, dual. I mean, pro style quarterback, but he can run.
Mhm.
So does he have some time to get lined up with Squirrel and Keaton and Jacob Warren and get in line and get some you know, God, what's the word I'm looking for? Some chemistry
Mhm.
going. And that's gonna be crucial because we have not seen chemistry all year with the UT offense, with Milton. And that's been why they have not scored. They really have not scored at the highest rate. I mean, we've had some good blowouts, but lower scoring Tennessee offense this year. Defense kept us in a lot of games. The
Mhm.
big games that we did win, they were lower scoring. If we lost, and then our losses, we got scored, ran up on us, and just couldn't keep up. So I like the under 35.5. I mean, this is kind of one of those games. It's like, ugh, it's just like, well, I mean, we're gonna be watching. It's gonna be thrilling. I mean, because it's gonna be close, but it's gonna be not very offensive. It's gonna be very defensive. I think there's gonna be some turnovers. I think we're gonna see the freshmen hopefully not make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
But I do think that we're going to see the UT, defense in the backfield a lot, stopping the run, stopping the quarterback. Iowa's not going to be able to get a lot of, I don't think a lot of stuff going on. So I like Tennessee money line. I just think it might be so low scoring that, it could be a field goal game. It could be, you know, a couple field goals here and there. We can't get in the end zone. Hopefully get a touchdown or two, but yeah. So give me the under. We'll ride with the Iowa under one more week, baby. We got to ride with it one more week.
That's one, yeah. Just ride that Iowa under.
Yeah, that's the play. We got it. We've had such good luck with it this year. Might as well just get one more week out of it.
Let it ride.
And then and then I like Tennessee to win the game.
Yeah.
I do like them to win it. I think you throw that minus 250 in with a parlay. I'm kind of looking at parlaying, some of these favorites and I like Tennessee there to win the game. But yeah, the 6.5's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and parlay it with the under. I'm sure you get something like 160, something like that.
Yep.
All right. Okay, well, that is our last game before we get to the playoffs. We only got like a minute and a half, so let's take a quick break. We'll jump in. We'll do Bama, Michigan, Texas, Washington, and then we might as well just pick a champion.
Hey, real quick, we got 1 minute left. We got Oregon and Liberty.
Oh yeah, we can throw that in.
Let's throw that in there. What do you think?
I'll do that also. I'll do that. I'll give Colin a chance to talk about that. I think I'll talk to him tomorrow since he's a Western man.
Westerner.
He's an Oregon fan, so.
Okay.
Yep. But okay. Okay, so I don't have much notes on this. There's only much. So I know that Bo Nix he's not gonna play it from what I remember.
Okay.
I don't think Bo. Let me see if that's been. Well, from what I see here, it doesn't say anything, but they don't. I'm gonna guess Bo Nix is not gonna play. It would make no sense for him to. But I can't see this one website I'm using that has everybody out. I don't see anything yet on him, but sometimes we have to get closer to the game day. So this one's gonna be. If I'm assuming Bo Nix is not gonna play, but I still think Oregon's gonna have all sorts of athletes out there. Man, I have no idea. It's 16 or 17, depending on where you're looking. I have no idea if it's the 16.
Let's take the over. Over 66.5. Liberty's got a good offense. Oregon's got a good offense. Maybe it'll be a fun one.
That's what I'm looking at too. I think it's gonna be over. A bunch of points get scored, and it'd be cool to see Liberty keep it close.
Keep it close.
All right. Well, welcome back, y'all. Thanks for sticking with us. We got the big games left to go. The playoffs. What it's all about. We got Bama, Michigan, and Texas, Washington.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you. All right. Sorry, I was wondering if I was
making so much money, you're getting allergic to these games.
Ooh. All right. So yes, the first game, Bama, Michigan. The night game, Texas, Washington. The winners will play in the championship. Michigan is favored in the first game by only 1.5 points. At least last I checked. We'll pull it back up to make sure. But 1.5, still seeing that, and the total still 45. So 40, yeah, 40, 44.5, 45. So this game to me, obviously the odds agree with me. If you look at how it's placed, I think last I saw Michigan was like plus 190 or something, and Bama is like plus 200. It's like they're very close to each other. And then it's Texas a little behind that, and Washington kind of way behind them for just to win it all. So to me, it's like whoever wins this game is gonna win it all, Michigan or Bama. I don't want Michigan to win. It's weird that the cheating scandal didn't matter. I guess Harbaugh missed some games, but it's kind of like whatever. I guess we're done with that. Maybe it'll be vacated later. It'll be interesting, but Michigan's unstoppable this year, man. I don't like it. I don't like Michigan. As a Wisconsin fan, I don't like them, but they're just unstoppable. Then no one can stop them, and they seem to have gotten better at the end of the year. Some of their guys, some of their rushers, Corum is coming on to what people thought he was going to be. Their defense is absolutely unstoppable. They held everybody. It's like a touchdown or less, except for Ohio State. But They just beat Iowa 26-0 in that Big Ten championship. It's just they're unstoppable on defense. They're going to have an amazing run game. I don't see how Bama stops them. Bama's not as good as they normally are. They have the Milrow. He's gotten better. Is he going to be good enough to beat Michigan? I don't think so. I'm going to take Michigan here, and I'm going to stay away from the total. I think it's going to go over, but I don't feel confident enough. But I'm taking Michigan straight up and then to win it all after that. So, what do you think?
Man, you're right that Michigan has been unstoppable. But who has Michigan played? That's where I always come back to. And, I saw a video of when they released the playoff board, and Michigan did
Oh,
not
yeah.
look too
They were not
thrilled.
happy. Yeah.
They were not happy to be playing Alabama.
No.
They got the short end of the stick. I mean,
Mhm.
honestly, it's like it sucks to
Yeah.
be Michigan right now. Like they should be. I mean, in all fairness, I know it's hard to put a Alabama over Washington or Texas just with them losing to Texas earlier in the year, and then obviously Washington having the weakest strength of schedule of all these teams.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, Michigan did not look excited, and for good reason. I mean, they're going against the best program in college football in the past 15 years, 10 years, whatever it's been. I mean, Alabama's got what, 6 natties, it's or something like that, 5. I don't know. It's
Way too
how
many in
many?
the last 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, just what does Alabama football do? They win national championships.
Yep.
So, um, you're right. They're not as good. I mean, this is Michigan's game to lose. But being an SEC guy, I mean, I just always have to go back and it's tough, man. This is the game. This is the game to really determine who's going to win the national championship. I agree. Whoever wins this game will win the national championship. I don't foresee, um, you know, Texas or Washington beating either of these teams, especially Texas Alabama rematch. I mean, like if that does come down, I think Alabama just,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
bring it on.
Yeah.
Um, but that being said, man, God, man, I'm so split. But I've been saying Alabama all year. Or ever since the playoffs. SEC wins again. SEC strong. Ride with the SEC. Um, Yeah. So I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna go Alabama. I think they have a lot of momentum beating Georgia. I think Georgia, one of the best teams. They've had a battle tested schedule. They beat LSU. They've beaten, obviously everybody. They beat Auburn in a barn burner. Beat a lot of good teams. And what Alabama does better, they beat the tar out of Tennessee in the second half when we were up on them. What Alabama does better than any team in the country, and this is what I foresee happening, that they come out, Michigan gets up on them,
Mhm.
Michigan stops them, Michigan's up at halftime, and then they go in the locker room. What does Nick Saban do? He makes adjustments.
Mhm.
He figures out the game. He thinks at a quicker rate, and they got talent. So close game, obviously. I lean towards the over here too. I think it's a low total. I think this is going to be a much more exciting game. I think everybody's looking at Texas and Washington as being the high scoring of the two, but I would actually think that this one, I think we saw this last year too, where just a kind of a history thing where TCU and I'm trying to remember who they played, Michigan,
Michigan.
maybe. Yeah, Michigan. Um, Everybody thought that was going to be the big high scoring, and then ended up not going as high. And then the other game was the one that really
Yeah.
was high scoring. So anyway, all that being considered, I'm going to go with the over on this one, and I am going to take Alabama. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go with. I think you're right. This is Michigan's year to win if they're going to have one. But yeah, give me that SEC.
All right. It'd be interesting to see because if Georgia had beaten Bama, I guess it would be Texas number 4, so it'd be Georgia. It would be a little bit different. But if Georgia were here playing Michigan, Georgia would be favored. which is funny.
Yep.
Bama just beat Georgia, and I would take Georgia over Michigan. But it's funny to think about it that way. But obviously, Bama, like you said, Bama's been weird, and it's first like even they were even like barely beating USF in the first half. Like they haven't been good in the first half. Yeah. So
Yeah. No, I would say if you like a good bet on this game, first half spread, Michigan.
mhm.
Um, I don't know, maybe. I like Michigan to probably win the first half. I just think Alabama's been
Dude,
they're the closers.
if you're feeling froggy, you can do, they do some of those where it's like first half into the game. You could do a Michigan first half, Bama into the game, and that's got to be good odds. You're going to be getting, I'm imagine like plus 500 on that, something like that. So,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
no,
Um,
something to look at.
something to look at for sure. But yeah, give me Bama. Yeah, we're going
And then,
head to head, bro.
and then
It's the Big Ten boy. It's the Big Ten
there it is,
Wisconsin
Big Ten
campus.
SEC. I
That's
mean,
Tennessee.
this is what it should be. Yeah, Big Ten SEC. And honestly, at a certain point, they should have just made it Bama, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State. That should have just been the playoff.
Come on, let's, let's stop fooling around.
It should have been. And they should have not played the season and just done like a 7-game series between both. All that. Yeah.
Yeah. That why are we playing around?
How we do?
Let's get to the meat of the matter. Let's see the team.
Nah. So the other game that doesn't matter, like, nah, just kidding. But
Yeah, whatever. Who
Texas,
cares? Yeah.
this is a 20-point, almost 20 points higher total, which is kind of funny. We were just talking about that, but 63.5 total. And then Texas is favored by 4 from what I saw last. Let's make sure it's still 4. 4.5, 4, yeah, 4 on most places, 4.5 on FanDuel, but it's also not minus 110. So basically 4. So if I think Michigan will win it, if I got to just pick who I want to win it all, it'd be Washington. They're the most fun story, the underdog. Michael Penix has been fun to watch. So and that scares me that I'm going with my emotion, but I am taking Washington plus 4 because they've been doubted. Man, they've doubted a lot all year, man. That Oregon game got up to like plus 9, and they beat Oregon, so they beat them twice. I like Washington. I'm gonna take Washington plus 4. I'm gonna stay away from the money line. Just the plus 4 feels good in case it comes down to that field goal. So I'm gonna take Washington and I'm gonna cheer for Washington. So not always the best combo, but that's what I'm doing. 63.5. You got to take the over. I feel like they're trying to bait you into thinking that's going to be under, but you got to take the over there. Going to be exciting game, the night game, big game. And Washington puts up points. So I like the over and I like Washington. What do you think?
Let's roll, baby.
Oh.
Let's roll. Let's go. I mean, okay, first of all, I'm gonna get back to my philosophies in these types of games. And when I'm betting in a major playoff type game, okay, what I look for? All right, we're gonna look who's got the best coach. That's why I picked Bama. I think Bama's got the best coach in the playoffs for sure. Who's got the best player? Washington arguably has the best player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you talk about him. I mean, you talk about Michael Penix this year. Great story. Have they announced that? I've been out of loop and I'm dumb.
Yes.
Heisman.
Yes. Yes. Jaden Daniels won.
Jaden Daniels. Okay, so all right.
But Phoenix was second. So
But Penix was second, right?
yes.
Right. Okay. Number one. Wait, did Jaden Daniels? I'm sorry. As I digress, Jaden Daniels is quarterback for
Yeah, he's LSU.
LSU. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And he won. It wasn't that close, but I think I can't even remember. But yeah, it was like Penix was second, got the second most first place votes and all that stuff.
Perfect. Give me some more freaking fuel to throw on the fire.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Yeah, let's go with the emotions, man. I mean, like I was rocking and rolling last year with TCU. They came in, everybody was like, yeah, TCU's gonna get destroyed by Michigan, like whatever. And then they show up and they win the game. They go to the national championship. I feel similar vibes here with Washington. I like them on the money line. I'm just gonna ride with them. Give me the point. Give me the points. And yeah, let's give me the over. I think both these games go over. I mean, I know one of them's going over. So if I take over on both, then we're looking good. But Yeah, and then we get to the national championship. You know, Washington versus whoever. I think that's where the buck stops.
Yep.
Unfortunately, but give him one more game and get Phoenix in the big game, and get him under the bright light. So yeah, I like Washington here, and I do like the over as well.
All right. All right, well, that's good. And on agreements there, we can, and like you said, yeah, we'll cheer for Washington. Like I said, sorry, we'll cheer for Washington. Hope they get the underdog, can pull through. And then I have no idea how the travel in terms of the crowds will be. I would imagine they're all going to have good crowds. It's going to be the playoffs. So that's really not a good. And they neither are that close to the actual game. It doesn't seem like so. Man, oh, it's exciting though. Getting closer. Finally, listening to these playoffs games. I'm excited. These are going to be good.
This is great.
These are going to be. I've just I don't know. I've said it a lot already, but like FSU, if you talk about deserving, FSU deserved to be in there, but this Bama Michigan game is going to be way better. I'd much rather watch this game, so I'm happy. I don't want to watch FSU mostly in the playoffs, so they deserve it, but I don't want to watch. They all. So I get it. Yeah, so I'm happy that Bama's in there. This is going to be a much better game. And I'm surprised it's not the night game. But I guess they're expecting people to be going out maybe for New Year's night, but I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely the bigger game is the Bama Michigan game.
Yeah, for sure. I think I think what you're looking at too, the reasoning behind it is we're looking at Washington on the West Coast, right?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just, they want to put that in the prime time.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah. They don't want to.
We'll watch whenever. So.
Yeah. They're getting eyes no matter what time they're playing.
Yep.
But yeah, that would be the only reason, because I mean, hypothetically, I mean, definitely Bama or Michigan. Bama is the better of the two, more. So I guess that leaves us with what, Dawson? Does that leave us with national championship?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could have said we're taking Bama and Michigan as our champions, unless you're going to change it to Washington.
Nah, okay, man. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome, man? Like,
I hope it happens. That'd be great. It'd be great.
That's what I'm going for. I mean, I'm pulling for Washington, 100%. Yeah, dude, I would love to see that, man. Plus 650. I mean, it's a fun bet. It's the most. The other ones are kind of like, at this point, like in the early stage, like before, like we see how this Michigan Alabama game shakes out, I would almost just sprinkle Washington for fun, and then hedge with whoever wins that game, and then you've got plus 650 if they make it, and then you're hedging well with whoever's on the other side. You kind of get a guaranteed winner.
And yeah, and honestly, if you're gonna pick the Bama Michigan winner, you might as well just pick them to win the national championship. Because you'll get the better odds there instead of just picking them twice. But if you wanted, then at that point, if you pick them both, you're gonna have positive odds on both sides, whether you get Michigan at plus 190 and Washington plus 160 or Bama at plus 200. So it would be worth.
Yeah, maybe. Texas is close though. I mean, plus 250. I guess just because
they're right behind. I guess I guess they're thinking Texas wins, and then they'll lose. So I don't know. Hard to say. Maybe there's also the Texas better. So it's kind of like the Cowboys. Texas, like we'll give them, even if the odds aren't as good, they'll still get the bets.
How mad are you going to be if it's Michigan? Well, I guess you're thinking Michigan's going to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very distraught if it's Michigan, Texas in the national championship. I'm going to just be like, I'm not watching it.
I won't care. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch.
I'll watch it. It's the national.
I'll get my bets and stuff, but I won't care that much. You're right. I won't be excited. Yeah.
It just doesn't have it doesn't. I don't know. I mean, Michigan. I mean, I think that if that does come down to it, I think Michigan will beat Texas, and they're deserving. But
I mean, ugly jersey mashup, dude. That burnt orange and that mustard yellow is gonna be ugly jersey.
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
I don't know why. Yeah,
so we can't on the eyes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that'd be a good way to end the hedge, talking about jersey colors. Very, very sportsy. All right, man. But yeah, I gotta go. So,
all right, brother.
Good hedging, man. Good to get back to it. We got a couple more NFL weeks to go, so I'll get you back on for the NFL.
Yeah, let's do. I'm all playoffs. I'm all
Yeah,
over it, bro.
we got the
I can't wait.
playoffs. Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, thank you for joining me, Dylan.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Zach, I'll talk to you soon. Everyone, bet responsibly. Thank you all for watching. Good luck. Let's hit those bets, and I'll see you next time.